And thank you so much for introduction, Professor Lee, and thank you so much for having me today, Professor Salk. So as an artist, I'm going to introduce a few of my projects that have incorporated AI technology. And the title of my presentation is Immersive Arts plus AI. So I wanted to introduce this project first as an intro. This one is called Connect BTS. It's a collaboration with the BTS, 방탄소년단, and it happens in 2020, just before the outbreak of COVID-19. And it's a coincidence because here, sorry about that. Kay Watson, who gave us amazing keynote presents today, we've worked on this project together because the Connect BT has happened simultaneously in London, New York, Berlin, Buenos Aires, and Seoul. So I'm just going to show you a really short video of the project that describes everything, not just about my work, but the entire massive project that happens 5 different locations in 5 different countries. Yes.
By promoting more innovative and effective approach to social justice and well-being.
The reason why I introduced this project, although it doesn't involve any AI technologies at all, because I've been working in immersive arts for many years. And if you can see here, not just mine, but pretty much all of the projects that involve to connect to BTS is a whole experience-based work. There's a VR, there's a projection mapping, there is a massive scale public installation by Anthony Gomley and Thomas Saraceno's Flying Arrow scene. So it was really rhythmatic, multi-global events that happen simultaneously. But, so for me, the reason why I'm interested in using immersive arts, making immersive arts, because I wanted to deliver my story in an immersive way, the audio-visual, fully experiential way, so that I can communicate with my audience in the multi-sensorial way. However, something happened right after this. Actually, while we are working on this project, the COVID-19 started. But we were lucky enough to finish. We're really super lucky enough to complete all the project in 5 different countries. But right after this project, COVID-19 started. And all of the projects has been canceled. If you can think about it, for example, I am not a painter, I'm not a sculptor. I am fully experienced making person. It has to exhibit with the people in a particular time and space. So COVID-19 canceled everything. So all the performances, musical, concerts, exhibitions, performances. So for me, it's like I am deprived of my jobs. And I had to stay in a home in London in a severe lockdown, and I'm teaching at the RCA just over the Zoom. So then what went wrong? Where did it go wrong? I had to think about that question really seriously. So that COVID, because I've been always exploring somewhere in between. For example, just to give a little background of myself, I did a painting in my background, and then I moved to video, and then I moved to digital, and then I moved to like high technology at the moment. So that transition makes me to really accurately aware of that binary ontologies. What is surface? What is depth? What is materiality? What is immateriality? What is the physical? What is digital? So I've been always exploring these binary things, but after the COVID-19, I just cannot help but thinking about the human and non-human relationships. So since then, I make like series of work that specifically question that relationship. And to do that, I need AI technologies. So from here, I'm going to introduce 4, 5 projects of mine that particularly integrated AI technologies in different ways. So this is just my really succinct version of statements. So I seek to create works that generate critical responses to anthropocentric thinking and dualistic ontologies. Much of my work is rooted in the idea that we no longer live in an era where binary thinking leads to the linear progress of humanity. I explore the causal relationship between anthropocentric thinking and outcomes. So the first project that I'm going to introduce is called Proxemics, Drawing Social Bubble. So this is a project that I actually made over the COVID-19. And there's two versions. The first video that I'm going to show you is a performance version. It's a really short arts film that I invited the contemporary dancers because it's an interactive artwork. It has to be an interactive work because during the COVID-19, think about it, we have to stay far away each other. We couldn't breathe together. There, everywhere you go, you have to see the lines in 2 meter by 2 meter. And it's not effective at all. What if there's a group of people, a group of a family who can stay in a trust zone? And what if about a single person visits the same space? The spatial logic needs to be relative. So I was really wanted to understand what would be the best way, in an artistic way, to share our space together so that we can breathe together. So this one has to be the interactive. And I want it to happen in a public space, not an arts venue, because I wanted to talk about this issue with anybody, like small kids, like adults, family, couples, whoever. So, but the first video that I'm going to show you is a performance version because I wanted to see how the contemporary dancers react to this work because they know their bodies very well because it's their jobs. I wanted to see how they react to it. And the second video that I'm going to show you is the actual exhibition status. And in here, I used the machine vision. We trained a lot for such a long time because initially I designed a system for the heights of the adults, but in reality, you will see that later in the video that there's like kids running in like everywhere, like a crazy. So we have to recalculate it, retrain it, using a different models in order to make exact outcome that I wanted to make. So so it's like a game because I didn't want a frustrating experience. Although we can't stay together, we will be able to find a way out of this, and we should be able to. The technology can help us to do that. So the message should be positive, not too negative or not too dark. So the form of the interaction is a game. So there are 3 different modes. For example, this one is an eclipse mode. So when you're stay together, coming close together, there's like a ping sound. So it's a warning. So you need to stay far away each other. And then, for example, this image is contagion mode. So when you start the game, a single person, anybody, randomly selected as a virus, that is represented in red color. So you come close to that person, you become red. But you quickly detach it from the person, it comes back to the white. But if you stay long enough with that person, you become permanently red. So it's like a catch game. So this is the video with the performance. This one looks kind of well-designed video, but the actual exhibition looks like this. So as I talked about it earlier, I want it to be a public experience. So it's pretty much more like a playground for kids and families, and I really love that so that people can understand how we share the space together. So it's really a gradual, where's my mouse? I'll try to, okay. Yeah, so the first mode is quite simple. So it's like a, how can I say, you need to aware of your location, and then you advance to the second stage, which is more complicated system. And then the last system is the contagion mode. So gradually you kind of need to understand the system so that you can learn how to play with the system. And then, as I told you, we have to recalculate every time using different models, AI, machine vision models, and understand what is the best optimal way to sense exactly the exact position of each participant. So that was the, what is that? Drawing Social Bubble project. And then I titled it, if you remember, it's called Proxemics, Drawing Social Bubble. And Proxemics is a study that is started in 1960s. And it's a study about the human interaction in the physical space. So over the COVID-19, people started to revisit this proxemics again because we really need to seriously think about how we interact with each other in the spatial way again. So that was the reason why I kind of inserted the proxemics in the title as well. And then from here, I want to also talk about the hybrid form, because when you think about, because of the ChatGPT and Gen AI, people first thing that comes to your brain when you think about the AI is like AI generation. But AI it's prevailing everywhere in your everyday life. So instead of using Gen AI particularly, I try to use AI technologies in multiple different levels. So that's the reason why I wanted to call it a hybrid form. For example, the next project that I'm going to show you is kinetic installation. It's kinetic projection installation, but I use AI technology in somewhere. So this one is called Infinite, and it's part of my solo exhibition called Anthropos. So I found this term in the journal Nature in 2021. When I read the paper, I was so mesmerized by this term because the group of the researchers and scientists decided to call year 2020 in 2021 as Anthropos because Anthropocene has paused because of the COVID-19. And as humanity stops, the nature flourishes, so that the scientists and researchers can see the sky in a crystal clear way. They can examine the ocean in a crystal perfect quality so that they can continue their research. So for me, the Anthropos, it's really sad but beautiful term that exactly describe our reality. So it's kind of a long story, so I'm not going to detail it too much. So under this Anthropos, there are two different projects, but what I'm going to introduce is the Infinite. So it's a kinetic projection installation. So if you see here, there is a large scale circular screen, and the center area is a translucent fabric, so it transmits the light and absorbs the light so that the images can reflect it back into the space. And the frame, the circular shaped frame, is a metal, so it reflects the light simultaneously. So with the single object, I map the entire space, 360 degrees. So it's the, how can I say, images of the reflection that the projection made. So if you see the video, you're going to understand more about it. But the technology that I used here it's quite complicated. For example, kinetic, physical computing, projection, moving image, whatnot. But here I use AI data analysis because this one talks about the infinite causal relationship of human to the nature. So to do that, I used the carbon dioxide emission data over the last 100 years. And in order to examine it, in order to analyze it, we needed an AI model to make it exact. So for example, it's how can I say, the length of the work is 3 minutes, and the screen is rotating 360 degrees really slowly forever, not over the whole entire exhibition period, but the reflections, the data is, how can I say? The reflections are generated by the data. So first 2 minutes, for example, it's really calm and gentle. Somehow it's relaxing, it's really comforting. But towards the end of the period, the last 20 seconds or something, it's become exponentially fast because it represents the carbon dioxide emission data. So I'm going to show you a video, and you'll see. If you can catch it, at the very seconds of the video shows that exponential speed of that reflections. So when you're in the space, actually the sound is also a part of the installation. So if you see in that space, the first 2 minutes or something, the experience is quite gentle and subtle and calming, but all of a sudden it becomes quite crazy. So then you kind of understand that this is the causal relationship. This is what we have done to our environments. So that's the reason why I needed the AI technology in order to examine the data in an exact way. And the next project that I'm going to introduce is called GeoFuture. And it's a massive, large-scale projection mapping work on top of the Zaha Hadid building in Seoul. So probably most of you know this building, DDP in Seoul. Designed by Zaha Hadid. And this is a collaborative project with Dassault Systems. If you know, it's kind of similar to Autodesk. It's a 3D simulation company based in France. But probably if you're a designer or an architect, you know the CATIA. It's a particular software that can build these kind of curvy structures. For example, that's the reason why Dassault System is supporting Zaha Hadid Studio and Frank Stella Studio. That curvature, the engineering needs to be supported by the CATIA. So I'm just explaining the context of the project. So the CATIA builds the DDP with the Zaha Hadid from the very beginning. So they wanted to have a very immersive exhibition on Zaha Hadid building. So I was an artist working with the Dassault Systems and DDP. So we spent like almost a year to make this project. So it's quite long, actually. So if you can imagine, this is really distorted three-dimensional shape. So mapping that shape it needs a really high quality technology in every possible way. Drawing, 3D simulations, and calculations, and what would be the perfect hardware, what would be the perfect software can do that, and what we can do, the cablings, for example. So we actually put more than 1 kilometer cablings all around the DDP. So it's behind of the scene, but we also need to understand that in order to make this thing, we need to understand every little step of that system engineering. And this is a really short video, 2 minutes video. Just take a look, and then I'm going to introduce where I have used AI technology. Well, I didn't mention it. So the theme of this project is about the future city. So it's about it's speculative shape of future that embraces the technologies and the urban life and nature all together. Can you guess where is the AI technology in this project? I know that you will not respond, but I'm just asking. So the answer is I used the AI-powered computation simulation. So for actual contents, I didn't use AI technology. But if you see this video, this is more like a behind the scene. So I used 12 projectors to cover the surface of the DDP. But if you can see here, you're going to see it's all like superimposed together. So in order to make a perfect surface, you need to calculate everything exactly. Then the human power can't actually do it perfectly, so we need a support from the AI calculation. So this is how my projects always come back and forth, the computing system and the reality, physical reality, the computing, the simulations to reality. So in here, AI technology helps me to make a calculation so that we can, because we only have a couple of nights. We can't stay in front of the DDP for months or something. So we have to make sure everything is perfect before we go to the venue. And to do that, we need a more exact calculation simulation technologies. And to do that, AI helped me to achieve it in this case. So that was the dear future. And this one is called Only in the Dark. It's now on display in Chicago downtown Riverside. It's part of the Arts on the March program. So Arts on the March is Chicago's public arts program that have featured previously Barbara Kruger, Diana Thader, or Charles Atlas. So I'm really interested in this project because it's not about the new media artist. It's about the artist. So you don't have to understand the digital technologies at all. But I am an artist who knows the digital languages as well. So working with them has been a really great pleasure. And then it will be on display until 15th of November. So if you have any chance to go to Chicago, please. Yes. And then this one is, there are several, it's another 7 minutes long. But if you can kind of allude from the title, Only in the Dark, I wanted to ask the question because I personally think that we are entering a new dark age because of the AI. We are here because it's so unfathomable. We can't understand this, so we are here to discuss what will be the best way to live with them. And because of the environmental crisis and the whole collapsing, politics and war situations around the world, we are entering a new dark age. But at the same time, I think that we always seem to find a way in the deepest dark. So that's the title. It alludes that because this work, you can only see this work in the deep dark. So only in the dark, you can see this work. And this is another public project. Anybody who come to Chicago can see that because it's just actually in the center of the Chicago River work. So I wanted to share this story with the people. And what would be the best way to live with how will be the best way to cohabit human, non-human, even digital entities, AI entities, and to make that story. In this particular case, I needed the Gen AI. I want to combine my creation and the AI creation and another human performance creation all together. So this is another hybrid form. But in order to do that, I needed to use a Gen AI technology. But if you probably already know that Gen AI is amazing to create a small images, tiny images, and 4 seconds long video, crappy qualities. But this one is 32 projectors. I forgot, so I took a note here. How big is that? The building is almost a block size. It's, I'm just trying to see here. No, forget it. So there are 32 projectors merged together. So it's like 8K quality. So making a Gen AI video, not image, but video, like 40 seconds of the video using Gen AI in 8K quality is technically quite challenging. So me and my lab students sitting over there, so we spent a lot of time to make it happen, learn it again and again in different models and different tests, and how can we make it longer, and 4 seconds doesn't make any sense. So that's, for example, this one is a digital animation, this one is a Gen AI parts, and for example, this one is, although it's a bit unclear, it's actual human body. It's a human water performance. So I combined everything, actual human performance, digital animation, AI generation, all together to weave my story. So I have 30 seconds long teaser, which I'm going to share now. Yeah, and it's a small spoiler, but this is the project that I'm working on, and it's coming really soon. So it's a collaboration with the Google and NASA, and this one is literally everything. So there's going to be a game engine, AI, and web data visualization. So I just wanted to invite you because it's coming soon. So if you have an opportunity, you'll be able to see it online because it's a collaboration with Google. And it's going to be my first online experience, online projects with heavily like AI and data all together. So the last thing, before I finish this presentation, because what I'm doing is more like AI enhanced immersive arts. And I believe that it'll be more ever expanding with more advanced technologies. I think that it's not just about the Gen AI or ChatGPT, because it's already here. That's the reason why I try to use it in a different levels, input level, output levels, or system engineering level, or the data analysis level, because that's the actual shape of the AI. Because it's already living with us. So understanding it better and how to use it better is our role. And I'm not a philosopher, I'm not a theorist. I'm an artist / researcher / educator. So probably we really need to understand that what is our role as a human to cohabit with AI, particularly when it comes to creativity. We really need to seriously think about it. So what else? To end, I think for future art, we need to think about collective creative that included humanity as well as non-human, nature, and digital entities. So, thank you.